And let me just add to the introduction. Basically, I'm an engineer by profession. I worked in the IT field for long. I was with Infosys Technologies, and I quit my job somewhere in the mid 2014. And after that, I have been doing vocational work, that is social work, full time. I quit and I am doing this. I run a non-profit by the name Helping Hand Foundation. We predominantly health specific work we do, medical and health. I don't know how many of you heard. Are you all from Hyderabad?
Yes.
And what are you, engineers, doctors? How many are engineers here doing engineering?
Doing.
Okay. What are the other backgrounds you have? I mean, pharmacy? Because I just want to know medical, how many are there? Pharmacy kitne? Pharmacy.
Environmental sciences.
Environment. Okay.
Law.
Law. Psychology. How many psychology? Oh, quite a few. There are no doctors. Sorry?
And a Bachelor of Education, BA. Law.
Okay, so that's about me, and so I've run this non-profit, and we do very big work in the social sector in Hyderabad and Telangana. Okay, and some of the key programs in a nutshell, I'll tell you. We collaborate with the government hospitals. We provide patient support systems in government hospital. We link the common people who seek medical help to the government facilities. We do primary health clinics. We do run dialysis center, rehabilitation, palliative care centers, telemedical services, and things like that. And so I was asked to speak on civic engagement and the non-profit sector. Civic engagement, as you all know, is what we give back to the community. How much we give, when we give, and where do we stand. That's what I will discuss today with you all, and how you can align with the non-profit. Non-profit is an NGO or an organization which is doing social good. So. Yeah. So we'll just start with trying to understand the basics. What does everybody with perspective when we say civic engagement? So, what is civic engagement? Civic engagement is basically active participation of individuals in shaping their communities and society and nation. So that's the basic definition, and I hope that is very clear, right? And it is when we talk of civic engagement, what is that comes to your mind? Can anybody say? Let's keep it interactive so that you will it will be more meaningful. When we say civic engagement, what comes to your mind? Anybody can answer? Donation, slightly, not directly. Charity is not directly civic. Civic engagement, yeah. Anything?
Interaction between individuals in a society.
Individual society.
Interaction of individuals in a society.
In a society, okay.
It is a revolution of something. It is a specific particular area, like marginalized, like SC, ST, like communities. Lower class peoples are low. Underdevelopment places.
Yeah. Partly true. Social yeah. See, civic engagement is your engagement with the community. Simple terms. Your how much are we involved with our community? Now, when we talk of community, normally what it means is that the marginalized segment of the community, right? The underprivileged or the socially economical backward classes. Okay, that's where the engagement is more meaningful, right? So, what is our involvement with the community? What is that we do? What is that we think about them? What does that we intend to do is the core meaning of civic engagement. Okay, So let's try to just see the define this further. Understanding. So civic engagement means understanding the issues around you. Point number one. Getting involved in solutions. Taking initiative to improve public utilities or systems. Standing up for what is right. Contributing to community welfare. So the combination of all this. Is it there on the screen? Yeah. So this is a more broader definition of civic engagement. That is our equation with the community. Okay. So what is important is that as an individual, as a student, how much of the issues we understand or how much of the issues we are interested to know. The issues can be wide ranging, right? Community issues can be wide ranging, right from hygiene, sanitation, health, education, political, whatever it is. So everybody might have different interests in the community. I want to know if any of you have ever volunteered in community services, or have you ever done any kind of a community engagement project, exercise, or any freelance work? Anybody there? You have done?
Yes, sir.
Like, give an example.
We have started recently one organization, Sarvajana, because it is
Okay.
it is they fight to SC/ST rights in rural or any backward classes peoples.
Very good.
They have
Very good.
started.
So, what was your role?
My role is vice president in that organization. We have 10 members.
Yeah.
We are both 5 members are
No.
affiliated.
What do you do now as a part?
We have to serve their need for
Yeah.
education.
Yeah.
We have to under process
Correct.
survey.
Good.
What
Good.
their education, what their health,
Yeah.
what their need
Yeah.
requirement.
Good. Yeah.
Sir, I have participated in the
You want a
program.
mic? Mic this way, so that everybody can hear.
Sir, I have recently participated in the NGO program.
Mhm.
Actually, we had to distribute the food for the people in the Charminar Hospital in Hyderabad.
Acha.
So we have distributed food and contributed for the breakfast and dinner for them.
Yeah.
So that's it. We
Okay,
have
good. Good.
provided.
Good. Anybody else?
I had an experience in volunteering for a NGO called Teach for Change, sponsored by Pega Systems, where I used to teach English to the underprivileged children in pre-primary or primary Telugu or Urdu medium
Good.
schools.
Very good. Anybody else? So these are all civic engagement or voluntary activities which few of you have done, and that's what we are talking about. So today this has become very important in the corporate world, the corporate ecosystem, especially after COVID. A lot of companies have realized that the employees need to be sympathetic. They need to be they need to have empathy. They need to know what the community challenges are, problems are, and then they want them to participate in the community work, voluntary work, and all that. So we, because we work with multiple CSR companies, that is corporate social responsibility, IT companies like Wipro, Infosys, Biocon. It's a mandate on their employees now to actually volunteer certain number of hours every 6 months. Okay, it's become it's so important. So whatever careers you are pursuing, right, tomorrow when you land up with a job it's a multinational company, or there will be some kind of voluntary work which you will have to engage yourself. So understanding that will be very important, and that's what I'm trying to do to help you understand how important it is strategically from your career perspective. So this is not just something chalta hai type work which you do, it's good. If you don't do, nobody will question, but it is kind of a area which a lot of corporates will demand from the employees, even when they judge you in your interviews, and when you are compared with your peers, right? When you're being evaluated, these factors, these character or this exposure to social work, community work will make you stand out. Okay, so it's relevant, it's important, and you should understand the significance of it. Okay, so that's how it is. And moving forward, actually, this double display is coming on the slides. Yeah. So these are the various ways you can get involved. First, you need to understand what are the areas of your interest. Everybody cannot do everything, right? So somebody might be very passionate about climate change. Somebody might be very passionate about rights of certain marginalized groups, like he is doing for some marginalized sections of society. Somebody might be passionate about public health, somebody on hygiene, sanitation. So depending on your area of interest, you must try to understand what issues are there around your communities where you live, where you study. It's very important. Unfortunately, the culture here is that we are so much focused on our academics and career and all. We get very little time to understand. And I don't know how many of you do reading. If you read also, especially the newspapers and all, you will know what issues are around. But a direct interface, right, within the communities you live will give you better understanding. You should look for organizations where you can volunteer, understand problems, and you should have a sense of what issues are around, especially in the area of your interest, whether it's climate change, air pollution, or health, hygiene, sanitation. Because there are a whole lot of people in this country who live in a highly compromised environment, right? Because they're not, all of them we are not living in a luxurious life and don't have the same standards of living as you found in the Western countries. Hardly. Here you have too much gradient between the rich, poor, middle class, and the poor. So problems do exist in this country even after 75 years of independence. So we must know what those challenges are. It's very, very important, and that will keep you well informed and rounded wherever you go. Whether you're meeting your peers, your debates in your college, in corporate life, in interviews, you'll always stand out if you know what societal challenges and problems are in the community. And so participation in the solutions I told, and you can get into taking initiative into improving public systems, public utilities, and standing up for, or be the advocate, doing advocacy, standing up for somebody's rights. So that's where a lot of students get involved, right? You've seen movements around students which have been very revolutionary. So yeah, why the students must engage, as we've been discussing, right? Students represent the most dynamic and capable segment of the population. Your participation creates transformative change. We've seen this wherever student movements are there. Can anybody give examples of revolutionary student movements which have happened and made changes in the political spectrum or in any other area? Telangana movement is a very recent and most easily relatable fact. So you've seen how community engagement and mobilization has helped create a separate state. Similarly, so many in JNU, the protests which they did on NCR, HCU for the what was the HCU thing? Yeah, exactly. The recent when the government was actually acquiring that land at HCU, the students, the way they have come together. So that is what is the community engagement, civic engagement, and the spirit, and it is a very powerful force. Students who engage in public discourse and civic engagement, whatever you call it, community, it's a very, very powerful voice which has impact more than any other voice in the system, whether it is media, judiciary, or whatever. You see the students when they engage, it can topple governments. It can make revolutionary changes. So you have given very good examples. I also didn't have that in mind. The HU protest was one, and Telangana movement was other. So many like this.
You also going on some protest.
Yeah, for the environment now,
Environment.
for the poor quality of air, the students from Delhi universities are protesting. So student movements have been very, very powerful, centered around communities. So when you do that, what happens is that you'll find better governance, hold on systems, accountability, improve services, enhance public delivery, stronger communities, and accountable systems. So this is the change you will see. Okay, now coming to, so you understood this part, right? The community engagement metrics. So let's understand what non-profits are, what NGOs are, okay, little more professionally, right? So the non-profits are the backbone of social development in a country like India. Okay, it fills the gaps where government services are inadequate and where private markets do not reach. So there's a need for non-profits to be functional in a country like India, in the landscape canvas like India, in multiple sectors. That's because this country is very vast, extremely diverse. We inherited this country in a very poor economic state from the British. So we built everything from scratch. And till today, the public utilities are not as good as private when it comes to health, education, especially these two, which are known as social determinants of poverty. You find gaps in the system. Okay, so it's not only health, education, but environment, poverty alleviation. There's so many other programs where the role of a private sector or the role of the non-profit or NGO is very, very pivotal to the development of the society, of the country. Okay, so most of the non-profits are mission driven. Like as I told you, we are health specific, medical specific work we do. They're community centered. It's everything is pivoted around the community. Impact oriented. They measure what how much of impact it has created for whatever intervention we do. Resource conscious, accountability focused. So these are the primary drivers. And I said health, education, livelihoods, gender, disability, environment, elderly care. Some of the examples I'm giving, poverty alleviation. These are different areas in which you see the non-profits working. Health and education are the biggest. Health, education, environment are the key areas where a lot of non-profits work. So non-profit sector is just not charity. Okay, it's just not about receiving donations and giving money to somebody. It is it's a system which the non-profits develop to address the gaps in the So in other words, when you engage yourself in community development, community services, voluntary work, is actually nation building. Okay, and it is so important that youth, especially students, need to participate in community development and welfare, so that it impacts in nation building. So students play a powerful role in nation building through active participation, volunteer in community programs, which we just discussed, right? Support public health. What are the different things which you can do? Support public health campaigns, advocate for social justice. Okay, wherever you feel that certain sections of the community are marginalized and not getting the due social justice, so you can champion for them. Participate in awareness initiatives. Women, since here the number of girls are actually outmatching boys. There's so many programs which we encourage employees of companies to come, like creating awareness on hygiene, sanitation, menstrual health, and all these things. These are regular activities which you do, because these are things which are required. People, a large part of a community is illiterate. They don't have enough awareness. So your time in educating them on these things will be of real value. And technology, if some of you are tech savvy, or you can have solutions built around certain programs where you can contribute in those programs. And at the village level, engaging with the local governance and things like that. So these are different ways which you can engage. So before I discuss what our role is in civic community engagement and civic engagement, why non-profits are important, I'll just quickly recap, right? As I said, India faces deep-rooted challenges and there's healthcare inequity. This is a word which we use commonly. Our healthcare, systems are not equitable. That means everybody, right from the lower end to the higher end, they don't have similar access. Those who have money, those who have insurance, get access to quality healthcare. Those who do not have money, or those who are not well, endowed, they don't have access to the health system. So there's inequity. Inequity is inequitable, right? So everybody should have equal access. Equitable access. So a lot of amount of work has to be done to bridge that inequity in the health system. So NGOs have a big role to play. In poverty alleviation, there's a role to play. Malnutrition again is a big problem in India. We find so many children who are malnourished, stunted, wasted. Then educational gaps. Again, that is very important. We see that still a large number of students struggle to study because of various constraints like economic issues, financial issues, constraint, the dropout. In Hyderabad, our surveys show that there are 14 to 15% dropouts from in the primary school level, and because the children need to do labor to supplement the household income, so it's that bad. Then there are gender barriers, and there are stigmas around gender barriers. Women can work, men cannot. All that, different cultures, different way. So all these challenges are there. And we all have to play a role. We play, NGOs, non-profits play a role. As a student community, you also have a role to play in that, right? So coming to our role as an organization, helping and foundation. Personally, as I said, I quit my job, a professional career. I was a senior manager so I quit and I took up full-time vocational work. That's because of my passion, right? Even though it was a financial and economic loss, but still I opted to, go with social work. Okay, so that was a big decision I made in my life. So helping and foundation's engagement with the community is at two levels. As I said, mainly health. We are working to basically strengthen the public health systems. Now, what are public health systems? The government hospitals, the tertiary, secondary hospitals, the basti dawakhanas, the primary health centers. So what we do is that we pick up volunteers, employees basically, train them, and we put them in the government hospitals. And we do help desk services. So what we do is, anybody coming to government hospitals, they don't know where to go, what to do, whom to talk to. There's no face of the hospital. Unlike you go to a private hospital, there's a registration counter, somebody will talk and guide you. But in government hospital, they're large, it's all free, but nobody to talk to them. So we brought in the systems, patient support systems, where our people talk to, they navigate, help them navigate the systems, handhold them, take them around, show them where to meet, whom to meet, and after they see the doctor, help them with understanding what the doctor has said. Because the people coming there are illiterate, largely illiterate, poor, coming from very weaker sections. So hand-holding them, providing them mobility, wheelchairs, stretchers is very important in government hospital. So what does that do is it strengthens the public health system, right? And it enhances the trust factor of the common man in public. Because what is happening today in India with health is that everybody wants to go to the best hospitals and best doctors, right? Even if they can't afford. So that takes a toll. I mean, if somebody who cannot afford treatment, if they go to a private hospital, that means they are either borrowing money or doing something, selling something to meet the expenses. So that actually, officially, the data which we have says that almost about 35 to 40 million people get into poverty every year because of it. when they have any adverse health event in the house, what happens is that they borrow or they sell something, so it puts the entire family into poverty, and billions of people fall into it every year. So we need strong public health systems, and that is what we are trying to do in our limited capacity, because we are ultimately small, we don't have the scale, but it's in the right, our effort is in the right direction, because we connect common man as a bridge to the public health system. Okay, then we have the other important thing which we do is building, community networks, right? One important thing which I want to tell is that when you're dealing with marginalized segments, just giving them medicine, treatment is not enough, because they live with a lot of constraints. They have social issues, they have, poverty is the biggest disease. They have affordability issues, accessibility issues. So they have wrong perceptions about seeking health, right? They don't want to seek health. They don't take medications regularly because of, the cost, or somebody tells them that, this much is enough and you don't need to take more. So all these things are there. So what we have to do is that we have to have a community approach to change this mindset of the patients. Okay, so there's a community engagement, and that is where, as far as we are concerned, a lot of opportunity for community work is there. And now we get students from not only from the health sector like hospitals or some public health institute, but a lot of, especially foreign students are coming, and who are not in the health sector, right? I mean, they might be doing sociology, humanities or something, but the university has got some kind of a rule where they have to do 6 weeks of voluntary work, 8 weeks of voluntary work. So there's so many students who are actually my friends or my family, somebody's contact, through somebody they come, and they want to do voluntary work, internship, and then they collect a certificate. Because their universities and curriculums are mandating. So that I don't know if it's part of the system here, but I have seen many students coming from abroad who are wanting this. So at least in a month we get 3 to 4 students who come to Hyderabad specifically. While they're here 3-4 weeks, they will undergo some kind of orientation internship program with us in. So that is a kind of a requirement in most of the foreign universities. You can just explore that. But I don't think in India there's especially your background, like law, engineering, non-medical, I'm saying there is no, I have not come across anybody who's a requirement coming from the university. Okay, so this is what we do, and I said how important it is for you to engage with the community. Okay, so this is how you can make impact. You can just this is very self-explanatory, right? Your role as a young citizen is invaluable. As I said, every skill you have from writing to coding can create massive impact. Okay, so you can help in research, run community surveys, awareness drives to understand local needs. We look for people who can help us in doing surveys and research. You can volunteer your time and skills, contribute to community programs and non-profit initiatives. Digital support with technology, I said. You can also work in raising awareness. You can create low-cost tech solutions, and field work also you can do. I'll give you an example that Wipro, which is located here in Gachibowli, the IT company. Every 6 months they get about 300-400 volunteers, employees. They are given a task to volunteer. So across 15 government hospitals, 300 people work for a day. So we make teams of 15, 20, 30. What they do, whole day hygiene and sanitation. They will do a work of a ward boy / helper. They provided all the necessary paraphernalia, masks, gloves and all that, and there's assistance from the hospital and all that. But the whole team, 200 sometimes, some 250, even 300 people came earlier. One full day they spent in the government hospital. Gandhi Hospital, Usmania. You heard of Gandhi Hospital?
Yes.
Usmania General Hospital,
Yes.
all these big hospitals. One second. So they volunteer, okay, and very passionately they volunteer. You seeing their passion is really it is very inspiring. So it clicked very well. Now they've made it a rule within the company. Every 6 months, 300 employees are identified. They give their names and they distribute among the various hospitals. They आके पूरा काम. Somebody does wheelchair mobility. Some people do stretchers, cleaning the floor, washing the floor, cleaning the garbage, removing grass, painting work. We've also done, coloring the hospital. So these are all, field type of works. So this is a canvas on which you can work. And I would seriously, recommend that you all should participate in community work. Civic engagement is important. It will shape you better. It will make you more sharper. It will bring you out as a concerned citizen, and it will really make a difference in your career when especially when you're competing for interviews, when you're competing for a job, it will really matter. These kind of things. So you must think of volunteering. You must understand, first of all, understand what the challenges are. That normally our tendency is that we don't want to know what problems are. Unlike in the West, where students pick up community issues very passionately, they pick up and then they work on that all through their career. Even after they get into the jobs, they work on that, continue to pursue that passion. So you must identify that spark in you. What kind of engagement can create a spark in you, right? And then look at doing some kind of community engagement, civic engagement for the betterment of the society. It's very badly required, and it is one of the key leadership character a company would look, an employer will look when you move up the scale. It's extremely important, I can tell you, because I was part of Infosys for a good 15-16 years, and even now when I talk to my colleagues and all that, this is a very important trait or character which is important to your career progression. You must be a concerned citizen. You must know what problems are around you, and identify certain causes where you think you're passionate. Somebody wants to do teaching, right? Somebody wants to just do field work. Somebody wants to do help in an organization, do surveys, research. So many things are there. Creating awareness or picking up causes, participating in those causes in terms of demonstrations, rallies. But it will make you very wholesome. That message is that being part of community development concerns and engagement will make you very rounded, sharper, and more marketable. I'm sure all of you are doing your professional courses with some purpose, right? Either you want to work or you want to gain knowledge. Most of you want to work. I presume that is after your graduation, you all want to work, right? Or you're just doing it just for academic reasons. Everybody wants to work. So then you'll get into a very competitive kind of a situation very soon after your college. So this will matter. Okay, this will really matter, and you must look at involving yourselves for voluntary work around the community, and yeah. So that's about it. And if you have any questions, I would expect some questions, and I'll be happy to answer them.